attempting to do a combo acrylic painting and pour painting, and it is inspired by SASKIA SMIT. I'll put a link so you can see her. I've never tried anything like this before. I'm not a painter, never painted before. I've done some pour paintings, but you know, I would say I'm a beginner. So I would say that I'm doing this in a reaction to her video, because I loved her title of her video. It said, "Everybody can do this," and I'm like, oh, I like her spirit. That, you know, that's what I say, that you should try art, you know. But okay, so I don't have very much choices as far as brushes, but I'm just trying to copy what she does, and it's so cool. It's almost like a 3D type effect. So I don't have very much brushes. I just have this thing I got at Lowe's, Best Bar. So for the inner circle colors and the painted on colors, the part that's actually going to be painted on is Deco Art Metallic Paint. It is aquamarine, and then I have metallic craft paint, Anita's all-purpose, and it is metallic turquoise. And then I have a royal blue will be the outer color, which you don't even really see that one. And then I have Liquid Trex Basics Acrylic Titanium White. So starting with the center is going to be white. So I don't know if I can get that on this brush the right way or not. And she said you don't mix, you know, water with the painted on part. So I'm going to give her a try. Oh, I went the wrong way. That's okay. White has to be in the middle. So, you know, I might just do this separate. She did it on the same brush, and it really had, the blending effect is what kind of gives the 3D look to it, but boy, I don't know if I'm that talented. I'm not going to down myself. I'm going to give it a try. But I have to start it off with just white. The only other brush that I have, this one, is like a really, like 2 inches thick brush. And it's a painter's brush for like a house, paint your house kind of brush. So that would not be appropriate. So I'm just going to get this center part done. So then what she does is she puts 2 colors on the same brush, and I just have to hold it just right and make sure that the white goes in the middle. Okay, white goes in the middle. That's not going to work with this brush, so I will just compromise. And if you have a wide, really thin brush, I would say not even half an inch thick brush, that is the one that's ideal to use according to her video. So I'm just trying to copycat her. And I've never painted before in my life, so first for everything, yeah. I like that song she was playing too. Okay, I have another paintbrush here somewhere. I'm just going to rinse this off. I have 2 brushes here, no biggie. And she said also, it's okay to wet your brushes, because she said, you know, while you're doing this, if your paint's starting to dry out because it's taking too long, she said just wet your brush. So, alright, get back to business here. Alright, back we go then. That is such a pretty color too, boy, I tell you. Alright, back in with some more white over here. Go around here a little bit. Blend it a little bit, and that kind of gives that blended kind of depth into it. But go back around here. But the way she did it, she did not have strokes that go both directions. She only went real smooth in one direction. With two colors at the same time. On the same brush, mind you, but there was a pretty wide brush because she had at least a 1/4 inch between the colors on the brush. That's how wide it was. So it really helps to have the right brush. Whoops, I just dumped that into my other color. Not good. Kind of want to have a smooth transition into the next color, which is going to be the darker color. I'm not copycatting her colors exactly because she had different colors and brands altogether than what I used. That's okay. I'm just trying to practice this technique, but I'm definitely going to have to get a different brush. Alright, now we go in with some green. I'm going to have to clean this brush. Alright, coming in with the turquoise. This is kind of a cheap canvas. It's not very tight at all. I got it at, I can't remember honestly. Hobby Lobby, or for the first time I went into that Five and Below store. I don't think that's where I got this one. I think I got this one at Hobby Lobby, but they had some canvases. I thought that was interesting. I've never been in that store before. I was up in the city. And I've seen somebody talk about it on the internet. I'm like, huh, check that store out. Of course, there was nothing USA made in it, which I won't buy stuff unless it's USA made. I mean, I'll buy stuff if it's fair trade. Like, a lot of foreign products, but I just make sure that they have ethical employment, you know, that there's no oppression, wages, and all that other stuff going on. Anyways, I'll get off on politics, but I think I went way too far over. I didn't have this centered so well, but I'll work with it. Okay, what do I do with my little brush here? There we go. Whoops, I just put it in the wrong color. I'm having issues. I had two little brushes here, and I must have dropped the other one. I just, you know, I didn't have any little brushes, so I just took an old paintbrush and cut some pieces off of it and taped it together, and voila, I have a small brush. I mean, it's the same thing. It's a brush. Bristles I don't think are that much different. I don't think I have as much of a 3D effect as she has on hers. Pretty pretty. If I remember correctly, she just did just a wisp of that in there, and what that did is when she went back over it with white, it kind of gave it like a shadow, which kind of helped with the 3D effect, or depth, I think is what that purpose was. probably come back up later and touch it up if it needs to be to get more of the effect that I want. But just for right now, I'm trying to figure out which direction that I'm going to have stuff coming into. So what it does is you leave like an opening and it looks like little fishes are going in there. I'm trying to decide which direction I'm going to have them going in from, and I'm thinking, since there's so much space over here, I'll probably use that side. And I'll work on the depth once I get all the paint on that I need to do, because I don't want to have all these paint sitting out for too long a time. So now what I'm going to do is all of this gets painted, everything through here. But this is going to be covered up with the pour paint. I don't even know really if you have to paint all of this on here. I don't really know why she did that. I guess just to make things flow better, I would think. She didn't really give any instruction as to why. But it was a good video though. It had nice music and she sped it up. And another thing, when you're watching something and it's sped up, you know, I should have had this on something, but I can do the sides later. When you have something and they speed it up and you want to watch it slower, all you have to do is click on the gear icon. If you don't know this already. I'm preaching to the choir, I'm sure. But just in case there's someone that didn't know that. The gear icon, and click on speed, and then you can slow it down to like 0.25. If somebody sped it up 4 times, then if you click it on 0.25, and that takes it almost to normal speed. Because I really wanted to watch her in regular time, how she did the center part. Because that's really an important part of the theme of this is the depth, the look of it looks like it's going off into a light, and so the way she did her strokes was very important. I'm just like stress painting this practically. I stress painted my walls, so I guess I could say I have painted before. In my living room, I have some old paneling, so I stress painted them. It's kind of like what they do with ceramics. It's kind of like the same technique. I have painted ceramics many years ago. It's been a long, long time. When I was a teenager, I was introduced to that. And crocheting and sewing, but I don't really like sewing. Anyways, now I'm rambling. Just make sure this canvas gets, I'm going to do the paint. But I didn't want to put too much on there. And this, you do not add water. Just, this is actual painting, so. Well, according to her instruction, I mean, you know, if you're somebody that knows how to paint, unlike me, I'm just learning, then do what you're going to do. But according to her instruction video, you don't add any water to what you're painting onto the canvas with a brush. And if it starts to get dry, she said you can just, I guess, add a little water. I guess she needs to the brush. Now this part's kind of tricky, getting it nice and even, because I don't want to blend these two colors together. I think she adds some white to transition the colors, because this is super, super dark. And if you don't get these colors transitioned just right, that kind of doesn't really have the effect of the depth. I tell you what, if mine comes out half as pretty as hers, I'll be happy. But I am trying to do my best. But it's a, you know, it's a learning process. I will get some different brushes though, I'll tell you that. I ran into her channel because I guess she doesn't get like millions of views or whatever, you know, but I'll tell you, she's super talented. And I ran into her channel. I was commenting on this lady had done a pour, and she was just comical. She had a really funny video talking about Podunk Town and all this other stuff. And I'm from Oklahoma. Podunk is a word we use out here. So I was looking in the comments to see what other people were saying about her funny video about Podunk people. And she had made a comment on there. She didn't know what it was, and so I went and checked her channel out. I was like, wow, I wish I'd seen her channel sooner. Because I do like the pour, and I also like the mixing of different artistic methods with the pour. I'd like to learn how to do that. I see some people doing, I guess, what they call embellishments. And it's like where you add pictures. I'm wanting to do a rainbow and then put my dog's picture on it that passed away. And I think that would be neat. So pouring's just as fun. I mean, I gotta learn, one thing at a time. I'm not trying to take on too much at one time, but I just saw this picture and I thought, wow, if I could do this picture good enough, I'd like to dedicate a painting like that to someone. Very, very pretty. Okay, that should be good enough. Because I'm gonna go back in there with some other color. Da, 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 da. I'll rinse this off real quick so this paint, I rinse it as I go because I don't want the paint staining the brush. Because I'm literally using one brush. I don't even know how I'm doing that, but I am. Just rinsing. Pat dry between each one. Okay, so now I need some more of this turquoise. This metallic color. Boy, my lighting. I did order a special light. It's got a like a camera stand on it, and it's got a like USB cord, and I don't know how good it's going to be, but oh, there I went. I got that blue in there. Shuckers. Pour some white over that. Whoosh. I'll just put a whole bunch of cream over that. That's okay, because all this can be touched up. If I don't like the way it turns out, I can always keep on painting over it. Alright, now, I guess we're going to get to the pouring part. Boy, my lighting's just terrible. I apologize so much. Alright, so the color that I'm going to put around here, she did that, is going to be dimethicone amethyst or something like that. It's a purple. I don't know that I've used this color before, but I just thought, well, gosh, it's so pretty. And I think it would kind of go with the themes. Now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Boy, I don't have much to put over here. Gosh. So really and truly, tell you what, I'm going to turn this around, because this is going to be the bottom, and this is going to be the opening over here. So now I need to sit down. I can only stand for so long. My back. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do this. I want to do it earlier in the day, but I have to go with my pain. So if my pain says you're going to lay down for a while, then that's what I got to do. Yeah, I made that center part probably a little too big. That's alright. It's my first attempt. I'll learn as I go. I didn't know what her picture had looked like when I saw her doing it. I didn't know what she was doing, And I had no idea. I said, what is she doing? And then when I saw and I figured it out, I thought, oh my goodness, I've got to do that. But basically, this is going to be, I'm just going to spoil it for you. But I'm going to put a thumbnail on my video, so it's kind of going to be a known thing. But basically, it's kind of like a coral ocean look, and it's going to have fishies going in this direction. Kind of look like they're going towards the light. I thought that was really cool. And this will be Dutch poured to make kind of like a coral look. Pretty clever. And I hope I have enough. And I'll put, once this is on here, this is kind of like putting your pillow on. You know, you cover your canvas that you're going to pour on, the part that's going to be, you know, Dutch poured or whatever, you cover it with paint. So that's kind of what this is. And then I'll put like a puddle of the colors that's going to be the coral. So this is basically the background of the, you know, of the blowing, the Dutch pour part of the painting. This is my first attempt, y'all. Please don't wig out on me if I'm not doing this right. I saw this video last night or night before. It might have been last night. I can't keep track. But anyways, I watched it a couple times today and I said, you know, I think I can do that. I'm sure I'm probably a little slower. And she did say, and again, I'm going to put a link so you can see her do it. Her instructions are like mixed in the video, you know. She said just make sure this part is even, because you're not going to tilt this or anything like that. I guess you could if you want, but I don't feel quite skilled enough to do all that. I'm trying to just do it exactly as she gave instructions to do. And she only used water in her pour. Nothing in that painting part. And she only used water in her, the pouring part, the paints that she poured. She only used water. So, I did use some Floetrol. I did finally get somewhere where I could buy some. And alright, and I'm probably going to paint these sides later. Put bling or something on them. If, you know, if it's good enough, I might resin it. We'll see. Now, I'm trying to take forever because, okay, now I'm back. Alright, so now put some white on. Just like you're doing, you know, a pour. You just go around the part that's got this. And the white is kind of just to mix with the colors and to help it flow. And she flew in both directions. Mostly she flew in the up direction, but I don't know how much space I'm going to have because I think she had a little bit bigger of a canvas and I made my center part too big. I would say probably next time I would probably, mark it where I'm going to, that's too much. I don't want that leaking into my painting there. That's okay, because that part can be painted over. Alright, now, put the pink on. I was going to add some of this argan oil. I saw somebody use silicone and coconut oil and argan oil. So I thought, well, just for fun, I'll just add a drop. I'm not going to add a whole lot. I thought, well, heck, I've got some argan oil. It's good for hair. But I didn't want to add it until right when I was getting ready to put it on there. I don't know what kind of effect it'll have. I watched a whole bunch of different videos on the different types of things that you use for cell activity. And honestly, I just really don't want to use silicone because of the issue with having to wash the painting. And not that I'm lazy and I don't want to wash a painting before resting it. I'm just afraid that I would mess it up. Especially if it's something that I'm going to bling up. I don't need to wash no painting if I'm going to be putting bling on it. It's not practical. And I think bling is fun. So now I'm going to do some pink. Oh, by the way, this is Poodle Skirt Pink. I thought I just had to mention that. Although it's a pretty pink, but I love the name of it as well. Because I have standard poodles. And I love me some poodles. So I thought that was really cool. I'm loving that pink. Of course, I like pink anyways, but especially if it's called Poodle Skirt Pink. I don't want to go too crazy with Poodle Skirt Pink. And just a little bit of this green, because I don't want too much green in there. And it doesn't really matter to me if this one gets cells or not. I'm just really, I want to focus on the technique. And I'm not really wanting to use a whole lot of this color here. Thought I might put some black in there, but I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit. First I need to move all these paint cups because I'll break that blow dryer out. And I don't know that I'm going to blow dry it. Actually, I might just do straws because it's got a big dryer. And this is not that big of a canvas. And I don't want to mess it up and go in the wrong direction or go too far in. And so it's a little more controlled if you use straws. And I didn't go all the way around my edge there. Whoopsie doopsie. And she goes inside a little bit. Okay, well, and okay, I made some splotches over here. That will all be incorporated in. Okay, now bring my colors back because I messed up and didn't put any over here on this side. Some pink. There's a lot of pink there. Alright. And okay. Alright. Break out the blow dryer. See how this is going to go. I don't know that I have my extension cord on. Oh gosh. I'm not big on this with blow dryer. Makes me nervous there. Oh gosh, knees. Oh, come on. That's just too... Not enough of an opening over here. Oh, there's a perfect heart right there! I'm so tickled about that. I'm going to get my thinner straw out. It's a thinner straw, like a coffee straw. When you have like a white splotch or a color that's too much in one area, you can take and move the color a little bit easier with this straw. See how I opened up the pink and the purple? It's supposed to be like a coral look. Oh, my knees! Goodness gracious, and this table's not level either, I'm afraid. Okay, all I need is something to make this level. And I also need to even get back up somewhere. Oh my goodness. I'll clean that up a little bit. That's my plan. Come on, ladies, don't give out on me. Alright. Tripping over the tarp I covered my table with. Got to sit down for a minute. Okay, I got this. Okay. on this side. Oof. Now, I'm going to go back over in this direction and push it back that way some. I'm getting some cells over here. Okay. Whew. All right. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Hard. When I lean over, I got those rods in my back. It kind of hurts. They said I wouldn't be able to feel them, but I don't know if they got rods in their back to say all that. Oh, uh-oh. Alright, this is going to be the opening where the little fishies are going to go in. Whew. Make sure all the edges are covered. Okay, now I'm going to have to remember to see what she drew. I'm trying to remember what she drew with. A dotting tool, which I have no idea what I could use, but I'm going to need some black, or maybe even a dark metallic blue. I'll just use that, unless I decide I don't like it. But first, I'm going to touch this up. And I will definitely touch that up more later. Okay, what can I use for a dotting tool? Should have planned that one ahead. Guess I could just use a ballpoint pen. It's kind of dried out. Let me give it a try. Wow, you know what? That's a different color. I don't know if that matters or not. I don't think so. She said just make a thick dot and then a line. Whee, that's fun. And I guess, like, the further you get into the hole, the thinner they are. Like they're coming from another part of the ocean and they're like going into some place where there's a light. Coming from a dark spot, going into the light. I'm going to call this Peaceful Journey. I don't know about my little fishies. Oh, I'll practice. Practice makes perfect. Or as close as you can get, just whatever. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm going to let it dry for a while. I'm going to take a break, and I will come work on the details later. Because that can always be added, the painting part. But this part is done. So, anyways, I got to sit down. So anyways, that was my first attempt at the coral, and it is not done. I'm going to doctor that up. Still got more work on it to do, but it's getting ready to be dark, and it's Sabbath, so that's enough for now. And I will come back and finish it. So there's the close-up. I'm going to call it Peaceful Journey. That's my first attempt at, I'm not even sure what she called that. I thought it was pretty cool though. I said I have to at least try it. Right? So if you've done this type of painting before, please let me know and maybe we can talk and you can give me some tips. Because she's the only one I've seen doing this style of painting, so I'd like to learn more. Got a little bit of cells just from one drop of argan in 2 colors. Argan oil.